fact, since we've been talking about that, y'all are going through a crazy metamorphosis right now in a good way. Sarkis is new to the band, or how long have you guys actually known each other to put something like this together?
Do I need to talk close to this?
Yeah, as long as it's close to your chest, close to your ear.
We met, a couple years ago. I met him because I was looking for a new mixing engineer for some of our music. And somebody referred me to him, but I already knew his music because I've been playing his music as a DJ for many years. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't even know he lived in LA. And so we started having him do some mixing and mastering for us. And we just got on really well, and I really liked the work he did. And when the moment came to start thinking about bringing somebody new on with Desert Dwellers, pretty much he was the only person that I thought would be the right one to do it. If he had said no, it would probably been a bit of a problem.
Well, that's perfect. That leads me into a question for you. When you started working on when you started working with the mixes, was that something you initially wanted to do, eventually start working with Desert Dwellers, or was that something that just came out of the blue for you?
It was out of the blue.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've worked with many artists in that part of, the music, like doing the mixing, and it's not something that happens that often to transition to, the touring part and making music. But yeah, it was out of the blue, but it was a pleasant surprise, and didn't have to think that much about it.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Really honored to be given the opportunity and excited for what's to come.
So, are you based out of LA also?
No, neither of us are.
Huh.
Yeah.
So just happened to come together.
I'm from LA, and he was living there, but he just moved to Austin in over the summer, and I live in Guatemala.
Nice. Which part of Guatemala?
In Antigua.
Antigua is beautiful. I love that area.
Yeah.
How long have you been living down there?
2.5 years.
How does the sound of Guatemala and Antigua really help form your sound and everything that you're doing in your life?
Honestly, it doesn't, because there's almost no music scene in Antigua, and I really don't like marimbas. And they constantly playing marimbas everywhere. So I haven't found any inspiration there musically as far as sound goes. I love the fact that they party all night and nobody gives a shit about it. And but I think the feeling of Antigua is just that life is very easy there. It's an easy place to live. It's walkable, and everybody's super nice, and that's really sweet to be around. And it's affordable, and I'm not breaking the checkbook by just living somewhere, living in LA.
Understand that. Taxes.
But yeah, sound wise, no, not really.
Nice. Have you got to do any performances down there to build any kind of momentum down in that direction also?
I play at Lake Atitlan
Nice.
like once a year, because the scene is more there. And in Antigua, I've played a couple times, but it's tough. It's tough to get people to come out in Antigua. It's a different community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess with my next question, with Sarkis coming on, how has the sound changed and moved from something, if you were a fan of Desert Dwellers back in like the last 10, 15 years, how has this sound changed, and what is that something to look forward to for newer fans?
Well, one thing that we've stated from the start is that we will honor Desert Dwellers' diversity and continue to make many different styles, because that's what Desert Dwellers has become known for. But we also want to expand into different sounds, and I think just by working with somebody different, that automatically happens.
Yeah.
But the new stuff is all over the place, but I feel like the level of production has gone up.
Nice.
Gone up quite a bit. I would say Sarkis is on a different level as a producer, and that's really helpful. And he's a mixing and mastering engineer, so like the mixing and mastering is happening as we go now, and we're like writing with that intention more. And so I think the new music sounds really good, has a good sound quality, and we've been making stuff with vocals and kind of working towards an album that would electronica, I guess you would call it in the end, but diverse and the same and different.
I like it.
Yeah.
So the whole goal with the new band is moving forward is just to add more elements into it to where it doesn't seem like something that's just something. I guess it's something that anybody can really listen to, especially if you're down in Guatemala. If there's something that, I guess you're not putting marimbas in there, but if it's something that somebody in that local scene will like too.
I mean, I've always found Desert Dwellers to be a very global sound. It's I find people's parents will like Desert Dwellers and the kids will like Desert Dwellers, and that's been something that's always been a bit nice about the project is I feel like we appeal to a broad age range and a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And I would say that the new stuff will definitely, I feel like it will appeal to Desert Dwellers fans, but also the idea is to grow the fan base, grow the project, take it to another level. And I do feel like the new music is different in a way that will bring in new ears.
Nice. I got a question for you, Sarkis. With you joining Desert Dwellers recently, how has your sound changed and how has your performance, because I think you said most of the time you were doing a lot more producing in the studio. How has transitioning into a touring artist and somebody who's actually on stage in front of people, how has that changed in your life?
Yeah, I was touring more before COVID as a DJ, and during COVID I was mostly at the studio and started focusing more on it and started bringing in more mixing and mastering for other artists, and that kind of became my thing post-COVID. I still played gigs here and there, but not as much as before. Getting back on stage and going to different cities is definitely exciting, and I think it's a nicer balance to be inspired by getting direct reaction from people listening to what we're working on and going back and feeling more inspired, basically. Yeah.
So with you guys being able to produce music and mix and master pretty much almost, it sounds like, I'm not going to say instantaneously, but a lot faster. Is there anything that you're going to be doing tonight that you've done or worked on, let's say last week, or something that you just did more recently that's more fresh in your minds?
Yeah, we have several tracks we've recently worked on that we're going to play. It's nice that already in the short amount of time, we were playing Durango yesterday, and I noticed, we just worked on most of these tracks that we played, and
wow,
it was really good feeling, other than, of course, some really good OG Desert Dwellers tracks.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good mix.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess my last question, I'll bring it to an end, is how do you go about, obviously you said when you looked for Sarkis, y'all were already working together on getting mixing and engineering, but somebody like Ghost Pipes, how do you come together in a collaboration? I know you mentioned that you're going to try to start getting dancers on stage, more people to start doing more physical elements. Is that come from just a networking, or is that just a background of friends that you've already had, or how does that work?
Well, Desert Dwellers has worked with many dancers and performers over the years, and has often had dancers and performers on stage. The live musical elements was something that we tried out for a little while some years back, and it was kind of a disaster, and so it really scared us off from doing that. And I think that one of the things that scared us before was not really having the knowledge and the skills to do it right. And now I'm on a different level as a producer than I was then. I've studied so much. During COVID, I just basically went back to school.
Wow.
And just did a bunch of music courses online and just decided that I'm going to level up and get better at what I'm doing. And then Sarkis comes in and has been doing this for a long time on a different level than me. So the idea now is to work with more live elements on stage. And so on New Year's Day, we did our first live show together, and we had 8 musicians with us.
Wow.
And it was crazy and scary and hectic, but it was a really good learning experience.
Good.
And we pulled it off.
So it's going the direction you really
pulled it
wanted.
off.
Wow.
Out of all the chaos that came with that event, which I won't get into now, but we pulled it off. And So tonight at Gem and Jam, we brought a collaborator, friend of ours, Ghost Pipes, who we've done a remix of his tracks. I've released his music on my label, and I have a track of his that's on a solo album that I did that we're going to play tonight as well. And so that's the idea, is to, I'm not going to say turn it into a live band per se, but have live music elements with us, but feel good about it and present it in a way that really works, and that we're not stressed out about, and doesn't feel like we're stepping into something that we don't understand, or that we're not doing on the level that we want it to be on. And so, yeah, that is our goal, is to turn it into something more than two guys standing at a table, you know.
I like that.
Basically DJing.
Yeah.
Which is fine too. We love to DJ, but like for the Desert Dwellers show, we want it to be more
dynamic.
So we have Jonathan Singer doing custom visuals tonight. We hired the performance coordinator to work with all the different performers that are hired to perform here on stage, the fire performers and the dancers, to do custom performances for our set.
Wow.
That we've hired separately of the festival to do. And we brought Jonathan Singer on, who we've worked a lot with, to do custom visuals, and then we brought Ghost Pipes to do live vocals. So that's the direction that Desert Dwellers is heading. More interactive, more live music, visuals, more of a spectacle.
So that's the takeaway for a new fan who's coming in. You want them to see something, I guess, and an old fan too, coming in to see that it's more of a dynamic, interactive show that they're actually looking at, not just DJing. It's just,
we're playing on a big stage like we are tonight. Two guys at a table takes up such a small part of a big stage, you know. So let's try to fill the space. Let's try to do something different and present a show. And we haven't rehearsed with any of these people. You know, we don't live in the same city ourselves, let alone Ghost Pipes lives in San Diego. So like, these kind of shows are still like it's a little bit, you know, scary in a way. Like, we're like, oh man, we got to make this work, you know. But the more we do it, the more we work with the same people and get familiar with them and understand each other, because this is only our fourth show together, you know. So I think in a year from now, where we're at is going to be really interesting to see, because I just see us having a crew of people that we're really just vibe with really well, like certain performers, certain visual people, certain live musicians. In a year from now, we're really going to know this is what we're going to do. And,
so it's a full production at that point. You'll be traveling with everything.
Like I said, this is our fourth show together. And tonight we're doing a whole spectacle. So, you know, we hope it works. And that's the direction of Desert Dwellers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all's time. The last thing, I've got one or two little gifts for you guys. We make patches, little pieces of art that you can bring back with you and have, stick in your studio, patch on your shirt. Only thing I've got for you, if you can say, is our podcast is called Universal Vibrations. Say, we're Desert Dwellers, Trevor and Sarkis, with Universal Vibrations at Gem and Jam.
Yeah.
I'm Trevor Moontribe of Desert Dwellers.
I'm Sarkis Mikhail of Desert Dwellers.
And this is for the Universal Vibrations podcast here at Gem and Jam Festival 2026 in Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.